But I'm on the next chapter of my life. I'm currently building a tiny home next door, like literally next door to my mom. This is my tiny home I'm building, and it's literally next door to my mom's house. This is my mom. Mom, you happy that I'm moving next door?
Yeah.
I am 41 years old, single, without kids, living in a van outside my mom's house. But I'm on the next chapter of my life. I'm currently building a tiny home next door, like literally next door to my mom. This is my tiny home I'm building, and it's literally next door to my mom's house. This is my mom. Mom, you happy that I'm moving next door?
Yeah.
Shalom. First thing and foremost, I'm going to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. I'm going to give double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Blessings and salutations to the whole elect. Those in this gospel abroad, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is a quick lesson through the Spirit. Lord's will to be edifying. It says, I'm 41, single, no kids, living in a van. And you know what? This is the one. This is typical among the women in the West today. Now, that woman, she looked like she can be from possibly the Philippines or some Central American country, probably from like Honduras or Central or South America, somewhere within that, because she looked like she could be Northern Kingdom, you know. But then again, you know, our people was like a speckled bird. But you look at the look on her mother's face, she's like, this bitch, she got that look like, I wish this bitch get the fuck out. Because you women, man, women, you are a fucking liability at the end of the day. You can be, if you're not operating within your true means. And this is too common, you know, the average woman, single, no kids, or single with kids and playing the boss bitch role. And this is what comes of it when you have no skills or when you have no particular substance and when you have not a husband. Okay, see, what thing they push here in the West is that women should get their careers off the ground, become boss bitches, become a girl boss, you know. Don't worry about a man, forget a man. Get a man when you're all washed up and used up, and then the result of it, you hit your, after your prime years, which, you know, women, you really start declining in your early 30s, okay? I want to say, and Kevin Samuels, man, he gave y'all a little slack because he called y'all the what was it? It was called the what was it called? The something I forgot he mentioned, but it was like a certain age that they go to, and then basically you can't recover from that, because I think a lot of women that call on this show was like past the prime of their life, and you know, they had kids by multiple baby daddies, and some didn't have kids, but yet they was all gung-ho in a career and all this other stuff. And Kevin Samuels was breaking into these women like nobody is going to really want you or take you serious after a certain time. Like, it kills me to see women in their 30s literally walking around here like their shit don't stink. You know, here you are used up. You've partied all throughout your 20s. You know, you've got popped 7 ways from Sunday. You know, you may have kids, you may don't. You know, you're used up. And all of a sudden you want to be this boss B career woman, and you expect a man to take you serious. It's just not going to happen. And then a lot of you are straight bums too, man. Okay, and what I realized, you know, just in this truth and just coming of mature age to some degree, I'm realizing that a lot of these females, they're straight bums, man. Okay, they don't have 2 nickels to rub together, yet they'll go out to the club and appear to be the most bougiest, baddest bitch in the club, but yet she ain't got 2 dimes to rub together. You know, they're scraping up gas money and drink money just to have a night out in the club. And then we'll give you the 3rd degree for not being tall enough, for not being light enough, or your hair ain't wavy enough, or your beard ain't thick enough, or you're too short, whatever. They'll give you the 3rd degree on qualifications that they can't even live up to. You know, and this is the result of it. Okay? It was, I was watching this guy, I forgot his name, but he's basically like a MGTOW guy. And sometimes I watch the shows because, you know, it's good. It's entertainment. And basically, he was saying that they was getting on this guy, David Banner, because David Banner's in his 50s. He's a health guru. He's had a successful career, but he ain't got no wife and kids. And women was complaining about him because he stated, well, now he's at the point that he wants to settle down and have a wife and find some kid and have some kids, you know. And you had bitches on there talking about, oh, well, he only doing that because he have health issues, or he don't want no wife that's 50 years old. It's like they was giving this man a third degree because, you know, men, we really don't get financial stable until our late 30s. And that's a rare case. Most men don't become financially stable until they late 40s, early 50s, unless you just got it that way. Okay? Especially Jake men. Most Jake men don't reach their pinnacle of wealth until they're damn near touching 50, man. And that is how it's set up in this society because of the wealth gap, the wealth disparities between Jake men and other nations. Okay, they deliberately keep Jake out of the box of success, man. So that's worked against us. But this dude, David Banner, you know, successful millionaire, he pushed health and he wants to settle down and have some children. So yeah, you know, there's nothing wrong with that. But you got Lisa Ray, Vivica Fox talking about, oh, well, now they want to find a man when these used up hoes, these wrinkled up, these bitches look like fucking jiu-jitsu dummies that you rolled around the fucking mat with. You put them in a rear naked choke. They all used up. Nobody wants Lisa Ray's old ass, man. You know, now maybe in her player club years, if she was in the right spirit, then that's a different story, because I ain't gonna lie, when she was in her 20s, she was decent. You know, she looked good. But now, nobody want her ass, man. Same thing with Vivica Fox. Vivica Fox doing the set it off years in our 20s, man. Even in our 30s, Vivica Fox, she was nice. You know, to say the least, she was a nice looking female. But now, that bitch is like a rolled up trash bag, man. And now all of a sudden, she's demanding, I need to find a husband. Bitch, don't nobody want you. But yet, they cursed David Banner out for saying the same thing. And David Banner, he has that option because one thing, he has money. 50 years old is not old. Second of all, an old man can make babies an older man can still make babies. Okay, a man can bring a healthy child in as long as he's dealing with the woman that's of reasonable age. Okay, vice versa. You women, when you start having kids at a later age, then your kids all jacked up. Okay, because you got to understand that the Most High have only given you a certain amount of eggs within your life cycle, and once your eggs dry up and once you hit menopause, you through. You know, every year, every month, you have a menstrual cycle, and you're releasing them eggs. You're depleting yourself, man, and that's just the natural cycle of life. You know, so a lot of times women try to get on the Depo shot or, you know, birth control to try to prevent that, but eventually you're still going through cycle changes. So after a while, every month you're losing your reproductive system and you're declining. Versus a man, we generate sperm every goddamn day. You know, as long as you ain't just shooting your shot every damn where and weakening yourself. But men, we constantly grow stronger, which shows you our value is on a whole different level than you women. And it is not to put the somewhat good ones down, but it's just the reality of it. You women, you don't have no value here. Your marketplace value, you're like a Ford. When you drive it off the lot, the shit depreciates, man. You know, and men, we're like Mercedes-Benz, Audis, and all that good shit. Even though they do depreciate over time, but shit, I can get a 2015 Benz and still get top dollar for it if I keep it up. You know, so David Banner is not in the wrong. If he wants to get a woman that's 25 years old, he can do that, and he can still have children. Okay, like this dude Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, them dudes had kids like in their 70s, man, because they deal with younger women. You know, but Jake men get knocked upside the head for having that mentality, but yet Edomite men, which Al Pacino and Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci are all Israelites, but according to this society, or they're Italians or Sicilians or so-called white men, which they're not. You know, but it's a problem when we want to do it. So it's a double standard. But anyway, you women are through, man. All right. So this is the book of 1 Timothy 5, and I'm gonna start at verses. Let's start at verses 3. It says, "Honor widows that are widows indeed," because you had the widow woman. Okay, women that lost their husbands or their husband may have died, and then they didn't remarry after the fact because they were so revered of that man, and they fear Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, that some women just chose not to marry again. They say, you know what, I'm not gonna do that, even though it was lawful for them to do so. Okay, I think who's the widow one? Was it Was it? No, it wasn't Susanna. I don't think it was Susanna. Or was it Judith? I forgot which one of the widow women, but one of them were widowed, but they never remarried. But it says here, but if any widow have children or nephews, let them first learn to show piety at home and to be quiet of their parents, for that is good and acceptable before the Most High. So let's look up the word piety real quick. And that goes into to act piously or reverently towards God, one's country, magistrates, relations, and all to whom dutiful regard or reverence is due. Okay, meaning respect. Basically, you serve. Okay, but it says here, but if any widow have children or nephews, let them learn first to show piety at home and requite their parents, for that is good and acceptable before the Most High. Now she that is a widow indeed and desolate, trusted in the Most High, and continuing in supplications and prayers day and night. But these widows today, they don't do that shit. Okay, once their husband died, they go hop right on the cock carousel. And sometimes they own it while he's alive. Okay, you know how many situations end in divorce here because women think like this? I want to be a bad chick. I want to be a boss bee. Ain't no women ain't bosses, man. And you're going to find that out when Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai finally collapses the system. Okay, all your careers and money and your apparition or your aspirations to be a so-called boss bee, you're gonna realize that they ain't nothing but a farce, man. And it was sold into you to destroy you. Okay, it says, and continued in supplications and prayers and night and day. But she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth. Okay, going back into this. Now I don't know this lady's history, but it's quite evident. Okay, the makeup. The straight hair. She's 41, single, no kids. That shows you that, her entire life was probably spent partying. You probably caught this woman 20 years ago at her best because she's not bad looking now. But she has no responsibility, so she's able to keep herself in somewhat shape. But if you would have ran into this woman 21 or 20 years ago in her early 20s, hey, she should have been married, because they teach these young women, girl, don't be getting married so early. Wait, go out and have fun. Have fun. Live your 20s out. That's not good unto men, because now the man that marries you has to deal with the baggage and the demons that you've conjured up within your whole young years, man. That's a whole nother problem, and y'all wonder why these situations always end in divorce. 41, single, no kids, and living in a van. What a fucking disgrace. At least you can have a decent job and have your own place, and it may be by choice because she stated that she's building a house next to her mom, but the house don't look like nothing. And if you see the mother look like she's like, okay, enough is enough. Get out, get your own shit. And proves that your mother don't want nothing to do with you, because if you live in a van, then why aren't you staying with your mother then? Obviously because you might not be a desirable person. Who knows? Like I said, I don't know the history of it, and sometimes people put stuff out like this for clout. But nonetheless, these are real situations. I've seen women sleeping in vans. It was a situation a couple years ago that a chick was literally living in a Walmart parking lot with her son, and she was going in and out of Walmart every day and night to take showers and to bathe when nobody's in there. But this is a real thing, and more you women are getting ready to be in this situation. Derelict bums. But it reads, but she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth. Okay, now I'm going to go down. Verses 10, it says, matter of fact, let's start at verses 9. It says, let not a widow be taken into the number under 60 years old, which is 60, having been the wife of one man. And most of these women can't say that. Most of these women have jumped on the carousel time and time again, even while they are married to men. And it reads, it says, well reported of for good works, and if she have brought up children, if she have lodged strangers, if she's washed the saints' feet, if she have received the afflicted, if she have diligently followed every good work. But the younger widows refuse, and she's still considered a younger widow in as far as biblical age is concerned, but in this age, she's up there in age. She's past her good years. Okay, she's probably hit menopause. The shit is probably dry down there. She's probably mood swings, pissed off at the world. And you try to talk to her, she's going to act like she's above you, But the younger widows refuse, for when they have begun to wax wanton against Yahushai, they will marry, having damnation because they have cast off their first faith, which is, Yahushai. It says, and withal they be learning to be idle, wandering about from house to house, and not only idle, but tattlers, also busybody, speaking things which they ought not. Yeah, gossiping, But I will therefore that the younger women marry, bear children, guide the house, and this is the point I wanted to make. Give none occasion for the adversary to speak reproachfully, okay? And it says the younger women to marry, which she's 41. She's not old, but she's old for this day and age. Like an average man that has something to do in his life is not going to be checking for her. Like a 30-year-old man, 25-year-old man, 35-year-old man is not going to be checking for somebody like her. Not even a man that's her age. Okay, now he may deal with her to, have sex with her, and, she may be used as a plaything. But overall, I don't really see any man taking her serious. Now a man that's in his 60s, that's well off, and he may, because she's considered young to a guy that's did shit, a 60, 70-year-old man. In this kingdom, this is considered a major come up, because she's young and she's still fair looking. But the average man our age don't want nothing to do. She's a bum bitch. Okay, you 41, you single, no kids, living in a van. Now, okay, having no kids at that age is kind of looking down upon because most women want kids. But at the same time, a lot of men don't want to deal with women that have kids. So on the flip side, she would be somewhat convenient to deal with because, she don't have kids, meaning that nobody is transversing on our time. But usually women that don't have children, they time is occupied by other men, okay, being a whore. So that's also another downfall. So you fucked either way. But it says here, I will therefore that the younger women marry, bear children, guide the house, give none occasion to the adversary to speak reproachfully. For some are already turned aside after Satan. Okay? So that's the point. Satan, man. You women are given over into the spiritual demon Satan. And his physical counterpart, which is this Edomite, Proverbs 31, and I'm going to start at verses 10. It says, who can find a virtuous woman? And there's no virtuous woman in America. Okay, you may have some, but even then, their virtue is not equivalent to that of the scriptures. Okay, because they've grown up in a wicked society, a poisoned society, which tainted the mindset. Not to say you don't have decent women out here that can fit this bill, but overall, we're not going to get real virtuous women until we get into the kingdom. Okay, even you so-called sisters out there, you may have a form of virtue, but you ain't Proverbs 31 yet. And this is not to throw shade at you sisters that's trying, because if you're trying, then that's a beautiful thing. But you ain't going to be Proverbs 31 material in its entirety until we get in the kingdom. Okay, even the men of the Lord, we're still tainted in his flesh to make it make sense. But it says, for our price is far above rubies. It says, the heart of her husband doth safely trust in her, so that he would have no need of spoil. It says she would do him good and not evil all the days of her life. And that's not what we get here. Okay, oftentimes women get very vindictive, and they start plotting on Jacob. Before you know it, you in a whole child support case, in a whole alimony case, getting everything you worked for, took it from you. And it says here, she would do him good and not evil the days of our life. And that's uncommon for Keisha to do our man good. Keisha hates you, Jakes, okay? The black woman hates us. Okay, even if they don't directly come out and say it, their actions towards us shows it. Okay? And it says here, she seeketh wool and flax and work it willingly with our hands. And this ain't talking about going to get on your knees for Esau. Now, in this day and age, we tell any brother, that have a wife, she needs to work. Okay, ideally, she's to be a stay-at-home mom, to take care of the house, to raise the children. But a lot of them want to just be stay-at-home moms with no responsibility at all. They just want to sit back and be cute. Nah, you're going to take your ass to work, man. Okay, you're going to find a part-time job, do Uber, start a little business. You're going to do something. You ain't just landing this bitch free, because we ain't got it like that. We in hell. And it reads, she is like the merchant ship. She bringeth her food from afar. And she ariseth also while it is yet night, and giveth meat to our household and a portion to our maidens, man. So, hey, you may get hungry at night. Say, hey, baby, you hungry? And some women do that. Some women willing to get up 3 o'clock in the morning and cook for you without any backlash. And then some women, they ain't going to do as much as pour you a cup of cold water. You on your own. And I've seen videos like that. Bitch would make her husband a bowl of cereal. He just worked 15 hours straight. He comes home to a soggy ass bowl of Frosted Flakes. Like, that bowl to get thrown right back at you, man, because that's straight up disfucking respect. This is why you gotta vet these women. You kind of get a feeling for them when you start to meet them. And you kind of know where you can go with them. You can say, okay, well, she's concubine material. You know, she's this, she's that. She may be a decent a woman I can be with, you know. But overall, man, just focus on the truth. And it reads, she considered the field and buyeth it. With the fruit of her hands she planted a vineyard, and she girded her loins with strength and strengthened her arms, and she perceived that her merchandise is good. Her candle goeth not out by night, meaning, you know, her works, her good works, her light. And she laid up her hands to spindle, and her hands to hold off the distaff, and she stretched out her hands to the poor, yea, she reached forth her hands to the needy. It says she is not afraid of the snow for her household, for all her household are clothed with scarlet, and she maketh herself coverings of tapestry, and her clothing is silken purple. Her husband is known in the gates, and this woman don't have a husband. It says, and when she sitteth among the elders of the land, she maketh fine linen and selleth it, and delivered girdles unto the merchant, and strengthened and honor her clothing, and she should rejoice in the time to come, man. Okay? So that's pretty much it, man. I didn't, matter of fact, you know what? Let's do this. One more. Is that at 32? And 9, rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women. For the vintage shall fail, and the gathering shall not come. Okay, so I mean, she thinks she's in a bad situation now. Wait till the economy shuts down and the grid goes down. Wait till there's war on the shores of America, because believe it or not, that shit y'all seen happen in Lebanon over there between Hezbollah and the Israelis, that's coming here to America. Okay, they're gonna have little small attacks here in these cities, and when things go offline, you know, supply chains are disrupted. This society is just gonna fall on its face, man, and then that's when people are gonna start to realize, like, shit, we're in trouble, you know, because you didn't take heed to the warning. But it says here, tremble ye women that are at ease, be troubled ye careless ones, and strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins, man. They shall lament for the teats and for the pleasant fields and to the fruitful vines. So your ventures is getting ready to be taken away from you. And those of you that's without, hey, you're just going to remain without. So with that, all praises and glory and honor that is due to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Lord's will, you will edify until the next lesson.
After my life. I am 41 years old, single, without kids, living in a van outside my mom's house. But I'm on the next chapter of my life. I'm currently building a tiny home next door, like literally next door to my mom. This is my tiny home I'm building.
She look hurt.
And it's literally next door to my mom's house. This is my mom. Mom, you happy that I'm moving next door?
Yeah.
She looks hurt through. The mother don't even look happy.